welcome back to another episode of Cube World. Holy cow, Sunday is upon us. And I'm actually recording this bright and early on a Sunday morning because I worked yesterday, so I didn't have enough time. Well, long story short, I didn't get to sleep Friday night and had to work Saturdays. So when I got home from work last night, I was tired. Did a live stream for 2.5 hours with Ward doing more Borderlands 3. Because apparently I can't get enough of that game right now. And then as soon as I got done, I crawled into bed and slept the sleep of the dead. Got it about 12, 14 hours of sleep because that's how life is. But I got up and wanted to record some Cube World. So today we are going to head over to that new biome. I'm just going to kind of cross-cut it, just kind of go at an angle to see what we can find. So I do again want to thank all the folks coming out. Holy cow. Again, as of stating this today, since last Friday when the news dropped about Wally putting the game out on Steam and it was coming out on late September, early October, almost 900 new subscribers to the channel. I know I keep mentioning this. I do it because I'm freaking out. You got to understand, I'm a small channel. Never, I'm used to a couple hundred views-ish, maybe. Oh, God. I'm getting wrecked by witches because that's what I like to do. I'm used to, minimal growth, And I've been content and happy with the growth we've had on the channel thus far. Still, even if it goes back to where it was before, I would be fine. I'm more than happy with what has happened on my channel thus far. But yeah, it's just kind of in shock is kind of what's happening in the moment. And I'm not trying to stroke my own ego or anything. I'm just relaying information because I'm like, what is going on? But I do. I love it. I love all the new energy, all the folks that are coming in and leaving me very positive comments, not only about what I do, but also about Cube World in general and how they're looking forward to the game coming out. So, sentiment that I can actually get along with. I have had some interesting things coming along, so I thought I would address a few things real quick, and then I'm going to get into the news that I have on the game. So first thing first, again, as I mentioned, small channel. I've been doing this now for around, this November will be 5 years. So, and again, I'm a 51-year-old guy. So I'm a bit set in my ways in some ways. I do look at feedback. Constructive feedback is always a positive thing. Making suggestions of things I will get. But when it comes to a few things, there are things that I just won't alter. I have an art background. So with that being said, all of the artwork that I use in my channel is mine. So I design my logo, I design my background, I design my intros, I design everything that I can myself. And it's all tied into my personality and my joys and my likes. Rivet Head, the word Rivet Head comes from people that like to listen to industrial music. We're called Rivet Heads. I enjoy industrial music. So this is bands like Nine Inch Nails, Skinny Puppy, that kind of thing. Those are the bands that I grew up listening to, still do to this day. I still get excited whenever Trent Reznor's coming out with a new album. I've seen Skinny Puppy live a bunch of times. I love this stuff. So Rivet Head to me is a homage to a genre of music that I absolutely love. And plus, I always thought it was like a fun play on words, like having a little robot dude called Rivet Head. I thought it was fun. So that's why it is what it is. But again, because I am, my brand, the way that I'm making things, is that I'm the one that's in charge of doing all my artwork and everything. So if you have fan art, or if you think that you want to, do that kind of thing, you want to make some fan art, go to it. I have my email address is linked in my YouTube profile. You can, post it on Twitter and tag me at it. That's fine. I'm not looking for any artists. I'm not looking for any designers. I'm not looking for any moderators. I'm not looking for anything at the moment. Again, I'm a small channel. I can manage this stuff by myself. I'm cool. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there. I don't want to come across mean and rude. I've had, folks reaching out saying that they wanted to do things for me. And again, as much as I appreciate that, I am very particular with my brand. I have been since I started the channel, and I'm going to maintain that. I have a vision for my channel, have done so from the start. Even when other folks are saying, "Oh, Rivet, you need to do this, and this," I've stuck to my guns, just doing things my way, and that includes the style of what I do. You know, how I just kind of do that chill ramble talk while I play the video games, hang out with my friends, and we just have conversations, and we are polite and kind and nice to one another. That's all part of who I am, and that's all part of what this channel is. And again, I've had people in the past saying, "Oh, Rivet, you need to get more energized. You need to do this, this, this." And I've been like, "Yeah, I get it. That's just not me. Thank you very much for your suggestions, but we're good." Okay, that was weird. It took a hot minute for that to kick through. And now here I am years later, and people are like, "Wow, I really enjoy your style." I'm like, "Well, it's about frickin' time." No, and I joke. And I do this because this is who I am. Okay, I'm full. I can't make any more. Where are they? Well, that's why. All my good potions are there. Yeah, so that's me basically broken down into a nutshell. Again, as much as I appreciate folks wanting to get involved and become a part of things, the best thing to do is to leave comments and, you know, share the videos if you want with your friends and whatnot. But honestly, the best thing for me is just to give me a little heads up of little things that you're liking, if you want changes to be made, or you just want to have a conversation in the comment section. I do my absolute best to respond to everybody. The way that the YouTube thing works, just in case you guys worry about how things happen, with the comment section, if you leave a comment, the way that YouTube gives me the notifications, I usually will be able to get to it, and then I will respond to your comments. Sometimes comments that are under another comment will get lost because YouTube has a really poor way of sharing that with me, and that's because it's between the application and the website. They've made changes to the website recently on the back end for us, so how I view everything is different than I used to, and it's broken. It doesn't load all the comments all the time. And it's just, it's YouTube being YouTube is a commonality. And I just, you know, if I miss something, I apologize. I do my absolute best. So if, you know, if you'd left me a really, really amazing comment and I missed it, I apologize. But like I said, I do try to touch base with absolutely everybody. If it slips through the cracks, again, I can't control everything, but I do my absolute best to make sure that I respond to you guys, because it's important to me. It's an important thing to make sure that if you guys take your time out to what did I miss? There was something. Are we in a new biome? Okay, we passed into the new biome. Thank God. So that means I can go this way. I got it. It's important to me that if you guys take the time out of your day to leave me a comment, that I should do the absolute best on my end to reply. You know, it's common decency. I always found. I found it annoying myself when, you know, I would, you know, leave a comment on not necessarily big channels, but other smaller channels, and they just don't respond back. Like, for me, conversation is very, 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 very important. You know, I do this because this is my social outing. I'm an antisocial person. I don't have much of a social life personally anymore. I have resigned myself to being this, and this is where I'm comfortable. Being antisocial is an oddity, especially people have a hard time figuring that out when you say that I'm an introverted extrovert, and an extroverted introvert at times, and that is, when I do this is me. This is my own personality. I don't have any weirdness. I don't hide anything. But when I'm out in public, I come across like this a lot, but I'm screaming on the inside the entire time because I'm not comfortable talking and being around a lot of people. And my comfort zone is sitting at home by myself, you know, just doing my own thing. I am comfortable sitting here reading a book, playing my video games, not having to be social. And that's why I don't like to go out to, you know, I don't go clubbing. I don't do any of that stuff. Now, I've been a bartender. I've worked in nightclubs. I've been a DJ. I've done all that stuff. But that was always my way of getting into a social atmosphere without having to be social. How it works and how my logic works for it is that if I'm working, let's say I'm a bartender and I've got a lot of people coming up and talking with me, I'm okay with that because I don't have to initiate that conversation. I'm just there working. I don't have to go out of my comfort zone to have a conversation. You know, if it was like a person that I wanted to chat with, or if it's like, you know, like an attractive person that I wanted to, you know, flirt with, if they're coming up and initiating conversation with me, that makes my life a lot easier because, again, being antisocial and being kind of fearful of folks, it makes it difficult. And then when that part of it's taken away, where you don't have to initiate the conversation, it makes life a lot easier, especially for me. But again, my comfort zone is always going to be this. This is where I'm at. And it's kind of gotten me into trouble in the past. Again, like when you work in the clubs and you work as a DJ and stuff, and you know, people think, oh, you're going to always be on, like, you know, that funny person that's always, you know, has that comment or has that, you know, witty banter. And then you get to know me, and like, you know, I'm happier just to sit at home and have a very minimal. Wow, he wrecked my day. Minimal conversations. Like, I've had that with a number of girlfriends where they're like, "Well, you're not the person I thought I was dating." I'm like, I'm always this person. You know, I don't try to pull any punches about it. So that is me. But yeah, I don't know why I ended up getting that diatribe. Damn it, do it all the time. But yeah. So anyway. Thanks again for everybody coming out on all of the offers for all of the stuff you guys want to do. Again, I'm cool. I'm happy with just doing things my way. Just please accept it. Again, if you want to send me fan art and stuff, just, you know, tweet it out to me. If you want to email me things, great. But that is what it is. So Wally has done a few tweets since the last time I posted anything. He did two, actually. The one on Friday, and then he did one today. Oh God. Well, that was stupid. I had it on my phone. Now I can't find my phone. Well, I'll just continue on. I don't remember what the one the other day was, but the most recent one that I saw was he posted a bunch of pictures of inside of the dungeons that he's been working on, which is cool. A lot of interesting little lighting effects. The dungeons are looking really interesting. I dig it. I dig what he's doing with it. So, again, follow Wally on Twitter. He's not, again, no real news posted. He's just posting more finishing touch stuff, which I'm cool with. I mean, it's all stuff that he's been talking about. I did want to address, again, some of the questions that I've had, and I was kindly referred to the FAQ on the Steam forums. If you don't know, Pixie, who is Wally's or Wolfram, his wife, she is now in charge of doing everything and moderating on the Steam forums, which is going to be a monumental task, and I applaud her for taking that on. So there is an FAQ that is there. So on the pricing, according to her, or that the pricing should be about what you paid for it for the alpha, which should be between $15 and $20 US. Which is great. I said $20 would be amazing, so that I would imagine $19.99 US would be the one. I think that comes out to be about $24.99 Canadian. Again, I keep forgetting Canadian prices versus other. I don't know what the prices will be elsewhere globally, but you know, that's what we're getting shown right now. As for the multiplayer, is that will be a Steam integrated multiplayer, so that means that the way that the Steam multiplayer works will work for Cube World. Nothing noticed about if there's dedicated servers or anything along those lines. The world itself is going to be one world, and then when you join a multiplayer instance, you are going to be joining a different portion of the world. So, as it currently stands, the Cube World itself is a procedurally generated voxel world. So going forward with the new update, that will no longer be a thing. Part of me is going to miss the voxel pixelated pre-generated or the generated world. I can understand why it won't be. So you can have a lot of the lore and the things, and you can develop storylines and make things happen. as I've mentioned in the past, I have absolutely adored and loved just wandering around and seeing what happens naturally and gets generated in the game. So there'll be a part of me that will continue to come back to this from time to time. As for the Steam keys, again, they say that they're going to send it off to us through our email. So whatever email you had that you registered with your Pickrama, then you just have to, you'll get the Steam key will be sent to you that way. They mentioned that if you don't get it by the time the game gets released, that they will work on something for everybody. And that if you don't remember that, if you don't access that other email address any longer, and you can still log into your Pickrama site, you can change your email address so you can make it something more current. So that is still an option. So they're going to be working to make sure that everybody can get access to what they need to, which is good. I've been asked, and it's been addressed here, about controllers. Is there going to be controller support? Now, on the Steam page, it says that there is going to be, it's somewhat controller compatible, and because of that, you can change the controller options and key bindings through Steam, so that will be a thing. So you will be able to make changes. So, which will make me exceptionally happy, because I am really truly tired of some of the key bindings that is in Cube World. It drives me nuts that I keep on hitting Q to drink a potion when I'm trying to hit 1 to fire off my first big attack. So like for me, 1 is this, or I could just as easily hit Q, which is right next to it, and I'm like, ah. And it gets annoying in the middle of a firefight. So yeah, it is what it is. What it is. What it is. People are asked if there's going to be building. I know that was something that was looked at, if they're going to be like a little Minecraft-y kind of thing. And again, she has stated that it's not going to be in the current build, which means that it may be something they'll look at going forward, which again, very happy. Let me just double check here. I'm just going back through. Okay, there we go. I had to Alt-tab out kind of thing for us. So the release date, again, as they've stated, was going to be late September, early October, or late September, October. The old Cube World launcher will not work with the new game. It's going to be completely separate, so which is fine. I didn't expect it to be a thing. I expected it to be, you know, here's the new game, it's on Steam, play it through Steam, which I'm got no issues with. The other thing that I think was going to upset a few people is that they're not intending modding support for the game. It's the Steam Workshop will not be enabled for the game, which makes me a little sad. I don't know if that means that it won't be part, because again, like I mentioned, there was talks of there being the Cube World editor being a part of the game when it's released. So I'm not too sure, but yeah, the official statement is that. Here, let me just go back again. I'll review it here. On the subject of workshop support, so originally posted by Pixie, Cube World will not have modding support, but if we make another game, we will think about it. So that's that. Okay, whatever. And then the final thing on this, the world generation. So the other thing I'm not going to get into, and this is just because of it's me, I'm not going to look into spoilery things as to what's going to be enabled, how to play the game. I don't want to know all the ins and outs of what they're adding for different classes. I like to discover that stuff. I like to figure that stuff out on my own. This is kind of how I've played games my entire life. And this goes back to when I was, like, even in the 90s, when gaming was really, really popular. And I worked at an EB Games, and you always had all those guides, and, like, oh, God, the amount of money that people would come in. Like, they would come in and they would buy the game, buy the guide, and just, to me, it just never made any sense of why you wanted to have this gigantic book to tell you how to play the game the day you bought the game. Like, for me, it was like, buy the game, enjoy the game, learn the game, And if you don't understand everything, then ask a friend, or if not, then pick up the guide. And for a while, they were making the game so difficult to, like the stuff that was hidden in it was just so hidden that you had to do X, Y, and Z in order to unlock things, that you needed the guides in order to do some of this stuff. PlayStation was notorious for it. And it just drove me batty. And so I'm still of that mindset of like, I don't want, like, I never wanted to support that. It's like, to me, it's the same idea of microtransactions in video games. It's like, oh, here's our game. It's impossible to figure it on your own. And here, spend another $20 and buy the guide from, was it Prisma or whatever it was? Or was it Prima Guide? Prima Guides, that was the ones. Oh, they sucked. Here, let me do this here. Oh, I thought I had my big bada booms again. Here, just go. Thank you, Moves. Where is Moves at? Level 21. So he's keeping pace. The intention for this season was to get Moves up to level 100. So that's what we got there. Let me just see if there was anything more on the FAQs. Okay. I stopped and started my recording just to make sure that it came through. So on the 13th of September, Wally posted the pictures of the dungeons. The one thing that I noticed that looks really interesting is the lighting. There's like, the god rays and the beams coming through, and I like it. It looks a lot more intricate than the current dungeon setups, and I trust me, I love the dungeons in the game, so I'm okay with it. Ooh, defeat the Saurian. Well, it's about frickin' time I had a boss show up. Is this the big boss battle on the map? It is. Oh, this is delightful. Hi. Hello, Mr. Saurian. Yeah, so the thing that I'm going to be sad is that I'm hopefully that there'll be a robust character creation so that we can make modded looking characters and not just have generic ones. That would be the only thing that I would really truly want to have put into the game. So the other thing that Wally posted on Twitter, wow, is a picture that says "That's good to know," and it's this gigantic muscle-bound guy. Like, basically, it looks like he's got his fists are so huge they look like they're just giant bombs. Like, he's a massive-looking dude, and he's got his little character and saying, I think it was something along the lines like "You're very dangerous" or "You're very powerful." Very cute. So I thought it was a cute little thing. Woo! We leveled up again. Or did we? No, we didn't. We're at 24. We were at 24 before. Oh, great. Iron Great Axe. Yeah. I can't carry any more heart flowers. Obviously not. I'm at my quota. We are on the verge of another biome change. So let's continue on. I'm good with this. We are good. The other thing I've had people asking about, again, just trying to address as much as I can. Again, I try to leave comments for everybody, but I figure sometimes some of the questions that are being asked in the comment section are things you guys might be interested in knowing more about, so I'm trying to address them here. The other thing I get asked about is about, oh, Jesus, that was stupid. Wow. I moved my chair back, and when I did, I kicked my microphone stand, bashed myself in the head with a microphone. That's a rough morning. Wow, rough morning to be Rivet. God, as I was got interrupted to what I was trying to say. God, blah, words. I'm having a hard word day. I need a sip of coffee. Dang it. Oh, that feels so good having coffee. It is so good. That's the one thing. The only adult thing I enjoy is my coffee, I swear. I drink coffee and tea. I'm not much of a soda drinker, not much of a... I don't drink alcohol. So it's funny for me. It's like, that it's my thing. Every morning, I make myself a cup of coffee. And I have to have instant because I can't drink regular coffee because my system won't handle it. So I have a cup of instant coffee with non-dairy creamer because it's not real coffee, and I understand that, but listen, when you are not allowed anything, it tastes delightful. And then I make a pot of tea, and that tea sits and steeps while I drink my coffee, and then when I'm done, I have a very strong cup of tea after I'm done. So my morning is always coffee and tea, and I love it, and I love it, love it, love it. Even at work, I'll bring in my cup of coffee, And then I also bring in, I have a T-ball that I will preload with my favorite loose leaf tea, and then I will get the hot water at work. Oh, thank you. Oh, this makes me happy. We have a jungle biome. This is probably my favorite of the biomes. I won't lie. Hello, crocodile. Do we want a crocodile pet? Do we want to bring out a crocodile pet for a second? I don't have it. Don't have the pineapple slices, so you're going to die. I know. I grew up in Florida, so I don't have any bad feelings about that. What was I even saying? Oh, yeah, so I bring my T-ball into work, and I will have, like, again, my cup of coffee in the morning, and then later on and throughout the rest of the day, I will drink my tea. Because I am a creature of habit, and it's fun for me. And then if I'm feeling very adventurous at work, I will go down to the grocery store, convenience store thing that we have there, and I will buy myself a bottle of flavored seltzer water, because that's what old people do. I don't drink sodas, so it's just how I am. So the other question that I was interrupting myself a number of times to try to answer is about the dedicated servers. People are asking about joining my server once the game gets going. So depending on, again, how they do everything, we don't know as of yet if there is going to be a dedicated server option for the game, or what, if it's just instanced, where, you know, you just go into a world and you invite your friends over. So we have to figure out how it's going to happen. So I'm not making any guarantees or any anything at this stage. If there is an option for making a dedicated server, it's something that I've always wanted to do, and it's something that I will put out for the community. I'm not sure how to do that as of yet. If it's going to be something that I have to put behind a Patreon thing, where if you want to be a member of the server, you have to, you know, put in a subscription thing. Depends on how much it costs me to do and what I need to do to do it. Or if it's something that's doable that I can manage by myself, and then limit how many people can access it, great. Whatever I need to do, I'm going to do it. So again, not making any guarantees on how anything's going to work yet. So don't ask. You know, it's just, once we get the game, once we know it's going to go on, I will work my best to make sure that I get access for folks to play on a server with us. And I'll probably end up having my own private one for when I set up my gaming with my friends anyway, when we record. The other thing is, I've had people asking about my Discord. It is currently still locked out. As I've mentioned, I've had a lot of problems with trolls and whatnot coming in, so I'm locking that whole thing down. Part of me is, there's a couple things that I'm looking at doing. And again, it's not intended to be because I'm a jerk. I have to kind of safeguard. Again, when I mentioned, you know, I control this by myself, and I do this by myself. I may end up putting the Discord in behind a paywall on Patreon. You know, looking at even as $1, because of the fact it would keep the troll accounts out. So if somebody did cause problems, then, you know, I could politely ask them to leave. And I've got things already set up for things in the Discord, but I'm not 100% sure if I like how. The problem is how Discord does certain things. Some things are intuitive, some things aren't. I've gone through a lot of the settings. I've got ideas of things I would like to do, and I just have to figure out other things. So if I can figure out how to do things without making a paywall, I'm going to. And that's why I'm taking my time to not open it up again. And just so you guys are aware, initially my Discord was on Patreon. It was a tiered thing. So it was never a public thing at first. After a few months of me doing it, I decided that, you know, I might as well just open it up, and I made it public. And that was just on my own. Like, it was initiated by anything. It was just me saying, you know what, you know, I'm okay. I was feeling confident with how it was working, and I just opened it up. You know, and I did that under the caveat of, like, you know, if it turns south, if people can't handle themselves, I'm going to lock this thing down again. And that's what happened, you know, and it is what it is. And if I do put it behind a Patreon thing, again, anybody that's currently on there, you guys are welcome to stay. You know, I'm even contemplating if you pay once that you get access to it type of thing, so you wouldn't have to have a continual subscription, that kind of thing. I'm not a greedy person. I'm not doing this because I want to be a jerk or an asshole or anything. You know, it's the easiest way to safeguard yourself against the trolls and against the crap is to, unfortunately, make it difficult for them to join. And that just sucks. And, you know, if it wasn't for those people, oh, man, life would be so much better. And I just really, really wish that, like, if I ever found out that my son was one of those jackasses that cause people grief, he would get grounded. He wouldn't have access to a computer for ages because, you know, as a parent, like, I want my child to understand that being polite in society in regular is just as important as being online. You know, if you're afraid to talk to a person and call them an asshole to their face because you don't want to get punched out, don't do it online. You know, if you're afraid of the ramifications in real life versus online life, follow suit with the same things. Now, if you're confident in yourself and you want to be a jackass in everything you do in life, enjoy it. You know, who knows what you could become. But I personally, I hate it. I hate when people aren't civil. I hate when we lose our niceties and when we lose our you know, being human online, and it drives me nuts. And you know, like I've mentioned in the past, like even when I talked about the Wally's post about the DDoS attacks and things, and, you know, I just don't get a whole bunch of this. You know, it's like I'm just not that person. I don't understand the mentality behind, you know, wanting to do these kind of things, or even just to be a troll. I don't get that. I don't see how that's even rewarding or anything. Like maybe you can say, well, you're older, but I will agree. You know, I'm an older person. You know, I'm not going to get everything that you guys say. You know, I had to look up when somebody said that, you know, big pog. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? You know, the people are saying weird things in my comment section. I'm like, okay, this has to be a meme or something, and I look it up. You know, try to own it. I'm old. I get it. I'm not hip, but I you know, I don't have to be. You guys are keeping me up to date on all the weird shit you say, which is fine. It's all good. But, you know, when it comes to language and lingo and things, I'm cool with that stuff. You know, I will happily learn, you know, what that stuff means. But when it comes to being a jackass, you can't teach me that. People have tried. It won't work. I'm not a jackass. I can be an asshole. I can be a real one. But it's usually deserved. And whenever I do it, I feel bad afterwards. And I usually put myself in the corner and tell myself that I'm not allowed to come out until I'm polite again. So, I punish myself. That's what I do. I can't help myself. You know, I'm mean to myself as it is. I think we're good. I'll end on that note. I got nothing else to say. So, you guys are new to the channel. Again, if you like what you see, new Cube World episodes every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 3 times a week. Once the game comes out, I'm going to obviously maintain that. It may boost up a little bit for the first couple of weeks. I might do daily again for a little while just to kind of get the ins and outs of things. But that's okay. If you guys want to leave me comments, please do. As I mentioned earlier in the episode, I do try to respond to everybody. If you do like what you see and you want to subscribe, please feel free. It's been a massive growth on the channel. I'm happy to have everybody here. You guys are great. Thanks again for all your support. And I'll see you guys very, very soon in our next episode of Cube World. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.